How are all my Digi peeps? It's so great to be coming back with another video. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. The Book of Boba Fett. This time I was literally waiting on this episode, counting down the minutes and constantly refreshing my Disney Plus page until it popped up. Just finished, and as per usual, I could not wait to record. So, if you are all ready, then let's get into episode 5, entitled Return of the Mandalorian. Fitting title, as this was more The Mandalorian Season 2.5, as we open up with the one and only Mando walking into a butcher's freezer. He is back to hunting and collecting bounties, and is still just as effective as he was in Season 1. He has not skipped a beat, even pulls out one of the first lines he gave to a target. I can take you in warm, or I can take you in cold. Not only was this a return to form, but as made evident from his outfit, he still owns his Beskar spear, and, given the events of the Season 2 finale, he has the Darksaber. A weapon he utilises to full effect in this fight he has with his target, and a number of his men. Seeing him chop a man on a table, both in half, that was badass. So after the fight, Mando heads to collect his bounty, and some information he was after from his employer. Probably something that will pay off in Season 3 of The Mandalorian, as we move on with Mando seeking out the Armourer and Paz Vizsla. The last two remaining Mandalorians, along with Mando, after the firefight they had all banded together on from the first season, episode 3, entitled The Sin. Now this scene was just so juicy in terms of what we got from each character. Mando gives an explanation to the Armourer as to the events that have transpired in the past. His fight with Moff Gideon, getting the child Grogu back with his kind and completing his mission, even the spoils of war now in his possession after defeating its previous owner, the Darksaber. You could not see it, but you could just tell Paz Vizsla was eyeing this weapon as soon as it was brought out by Mando. The history there with that weapon and his family, anyone who has seen the Clone Wars TV series will know exactly what I mean. The Armourer tells Mando that this is now his weapon. This is the way after all. However, the one exception she takes is with the Beskar spear. Beskar should only be used as armour, not weapons. As long as it exists, it puts the Mandalorians in danger. So Mando requests that it be broken down and used to create a gift for a certain special someone, Grogu. That's right. We're going to see everyone's favourite tiny baby Yoda once again. Moving on with some pretty intense training, and it was here where things got interesting for me. The Armourer is going through some pretty simple drills with Mando. I swear, this person just seems to know more and more every time we see her on screen. She bests Mando with ease, and he protests that the Darksaber is getting heavier with each swing. I mean it, every time we see this weapon, something new seems to come out about it. Paz Vizsla takes this as weakness and challenges Din Djarin to a contest, the winner of course claiming the Darksaber. A fight I felt Paz could not afford to lose. The longer this training and this fight went on, the more weight you felt the Darksaber had behind it with each swing. A claim that Mando is fighting the saber and not his opponent. Still, despite the saber ending up in the hands of Paz Vizsla, Mando manages to best him and is still the owner of the Darksaber. Then, before he can kill his opponent, the Armourer asked one very difficult question. Paz Vizsla, have you ever removed your helmet? And have you ever had your helmet removed by another? Something he denies almost instantly, but something Mando cannot do, however, and as he is declared a Mandalorian no longer, he begs for forgiveness. The Armourer explains that he can only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore. Mines that Mando explains have been destroyed, but again, I'm sure will play a big part in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I honestly cannot wait for these upcoming episodes. Seeing Mando master the Darksaber, going back to Mandalore, basically being their ruler now that he has that weapon in hand, it's going to be so awesome. We still have problems to deal with, however, as Mando no longer has a ship, the Razor Crest of course being destroyed back in Season 2. So we have a visit to Tatooine and Peli Motto, the female woman who managed the ship port on Mos Eisley. She has promised a replacement ship for Mando, and he's under the belief it will be another Razor Crest gunship. She never promised that. Instead, she presents him with a Naboo Royal N1 starfighter, the ship made famous from the Star Wars film Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The ship that Anakin used to destroy a droid control ship, leading to the shutdown of battle droids being used to attack Naboo and the Gungan army. Seeing this ship, or what was left of it, I swear made me so happy. I am a prequels man. Always have been and always will be. I remember watching my VHS tape of Star Wars Episode 1 and rewatching that entire scene over and over again. The Gungan army fighting the droids, Anakin out in space for the first time, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon taking on Darth Maul. I am just so in love with all these callbacks to the past and paying it small tributes and nods here and there throughout these new Star Wars TV shows. At first, Mando was skeptical, as he of course was expecting a new gunship. However, Pele convinces him to help her reconstruct this one-of-a-kind ship, and this was a great scene. Seeing Mando put his time and effort into making this ship his own, there was no way he was walking away without her. Stripping away the yellow paint to give us that familiar chrome finish with some pretty hefty modifications, Mando decides to take the ship for a test run, and this thing just glides through the desert sands before heading up into space. It is then we get another nod to the past, with two rebel starfighters pulling up Mando's new ship and someone recognizing his voice. It is none other than Carson Teva, the pilot who saved Din Djarin from a number of ice spiders, and someone who wants to question that particular Mandalorian in regards to a transponder log back on Navarro with an incident involving Imperial remnants. Questions Mando cannot get into, so he launches his sublight thrusters that the rebel partner mistook for his hyperdrive. So it looks like Mando has traded in functionality for speed. I am excited to see the upcoming dogfights we are bound to get in The Mandalorian Season 3 with this new beast of a starship. Finishing up the episode, Mando touches down only to be met by Fennec Shand. She explains that Boba is looking for some muscle to help him in a job, which pays very nicely. Mando, however, offers to help him without pay, given the help that he provided him in rescuing Grogu, and we close out with probably the most highly anticipated episode for next week. Now, I can tell this will be the best episode of the season. Mando is probably the most well-received character from all the Disney era of Star Wars, so bringing him in for a wrap-up of the final episodes was a no-brainer. Plus, it generates some hype for all the things we are going to get in the third season of The Mandalorian. As I mentioned, we have Mando with the Darksaber, what I think will be a clear return to Mandalore. Also, if we don't get an appearance from everyone's favourite little green founderling in the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett, then we will definitely get that reunion in Season 3. A great episode. No Boba Fett, but I don't think fans will mind given the star this week. Again, I cannot wait for next week, and I'm looking forward to seeing all these pieces fall in place for an explosive end to Boba's story. Hope you all had fun. Leave a comment down below on your favourite moment, like and subscribe, and remember, this is the way.